Coming up, an update on the tax war between the two presidential candidates.
And grand jury deliberations from Breonna Taylor's case will be released.
All that and more today, Wednesday, September 30th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Mike Cerullo.
And I'm Adelaide Willert. We begin with this morning's top stories.
Just hours before the presidential debate, Democratic candidate Joe Biden released his 2019 tax returns. The former vice president paid almost $300,000 in federal taxes last year. This comes 2 days after the New York Times uncovered President Trump's tax returns. The president reportedly paid just $750 in taxes during both 2016 and 2017. The report also showed that President Trump has not paid federal income taxes during at least 10 of the past 15 years.
Grand jury deliberations from Breonna Taylor's trial will be released on transcript. This comes after nationwide protest against the grand jury's decision. The jury charged only one of the three officers involved, Brett Hankinson, with 3 counts of wanton endangerment for firing through the walls of Taylor's apartment. Kentucky General Attorney Cameron has publicly stated that he never recommended homicide charges against any of the officers and has no qualms with releasing the transcript, as public interest in Taylor's case has grown since her death in March.
Devastating wildfires continue to burn on the West Coast. At least 3 people were killed in California's Zog fire on Monday, and nearly 70,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes in Napa and Sonoma County after the glass fire quadrupled in size. The fire has already scorched more than 40,000 acres and threatens as many as 10,000 structures in the area. More than 1,000 firefighters have been working to contain the fire since Sunday morning. Since then, it's become California's fastest growing wildfire. Officials say the glass fire is still only 2% contained at this time.
100,000 ballots have been misprinted by a third-party vendor in New York City. Absentee and mail-in voters in Brooklyn discovered their ballot return envelopes were misprinted with incorrect addresses and names on them. Sending in a misprinted ballot will invalidate the vote, which on such a large scale could affect the overall results in a swing state. Ballots for New York are currently being reprinted and redistributed to the voters who received incorrect ballots. A similar incident occurred around a week ago in Michigan, where 750 ballots were misprinted, causing President Trump to accuse Michigan Secretary of State for attempting to tamper with the election.
And now for our weekly COVID-19 update. The White House is unveiling a new plan to reopen schools across the country. President Trump announced Monday millions of rapid coronavirus tests will be distributed to the states in the coming weeks. Governors will decide how these tests are used, but the president says getting students back in the classroom should be a top priority. The federal government has already started sending out more than 6 million tests this week and expects to send out more than 100 million by the end of the year. The healthcare technology company Abbott is making tests that deliver results in just about 15 minutes. Infectious disease experts consider rapid, widespread testing to be a key factor for reopening the country.
As the coronavirus death rate exceeds 1 million globally, many Midwest states in the U.S. are seeing drastic rises in positive test cases. In the Midwest, the number of tests coming back positive is exceeding 25%, with North Dakota's positive test rate at 30% this week, though only being 6% for 2 weeks prior. South Dakota's rate is currently sitting at 26%, and Montana's rate has risen from 7 to 20% in the past week. Most states reporting drastic increases have had their rates change in a 1 to 2 day period. Hospitalization rates have increased alongside cases, and deaths are expected to rise in the upcoming weeks.
Now we head to our political correspondent, Brilee Carey.
What do you have for us, Brilee?
The first presidential debate between President Trump and Joe Biden taking place on Tuesday. Due to the coronavirus, the two did not shake hands before the event, and there were less than 100 people in attendance. President Trump refusing to denounce white supremacism or say that he would peacefully turn over power should he lose the election. And Biden at times completely ignoring the president, speaking directly to the viewers and explaining why their vote should count for him. The entire debate was plagued by constant interruptions on both sides. Analysts say this was not a win for either party, but that it was a loss for President Trump. And Amy Coney Barrett has officially been nominated to be the newest Supreme Court justice by President Trump on Saturday. And on Tuesday, she met with Senator McConnell and other Republican legislators in D.C., likely to discuss her upcoming confirmation hearings. Those hearings have been scheduled to begin on October 12th, just 2 weeks after her nomination. Republicans have said they hope to have Barrett confirmed by the election, while many Democrats say that Barrett should not be confirmed at this time, and it should be up to the next president to nominate someone for that Supreme Court seat. Michael Flynn and his attorney back in court yesterday, the two presenting a case in district court to have the charges of lying to the FBI during Mueller's Russia investigation dismissed. Flynn pleaded guilty to those charges in December of 2017 and has been awaiting sentencing since that time. Attorney General William Barr has asked that the case be dismissed on behalf of the Justice Department. While the case is still ongoing, a bombshell revelation was dropped on Tuesday when Flynn's lawyer said she has personally been updating President Trump on the case and that she had asked the president not to pardon Flynn. This hearing is expected to continue for at least a few more days. And a new memo sent to federal agencies warns of adverse actions and consequences for employees who host diversity trainings. The memo, sent out by President Trump's budget director on Monday, was supposed to offer guidance on how agencies should work on removing some employee training programs. The memo suggested that federal agencies remove any training programs featuring the words intersectionality, white privilege, and systemic racism. President Trump first banned diversity trainings early last month, saying they were anti-American propaganda. The White House has said they do not want to remove all employee trainings, just those that seek to create division among employees. Back to you, Mike and Adelaide.
Thank you, Brilee. A recent report from financial reporter Adam McCann has found Massachusetts to be among the safest states for students to go back to school. Massachusetts ranked 4th, coming after Vermont, Maine, and Pennsylvania. This study from Wallet Hub comes as many states anticipate a surge in COVID cases in the fall and winter seasons.
One city is trying a new strategy to get kids back in school. Leominster's Mayor Dean Mazzarella declared remote learning a public health crisis Monday. He says the city's COVID-19 numbers are low enough to safely reopen schools for at least hybrid learning. Students at Leominster's schools have been learning remotely since the start of the school year. Mazzarella says he's received many complaints from angry parents who are frustrated with the online-only model. He plans to find spaces for students to complete their schoolwork with adult supervision in the near future.
After only 1 week, the steakhouse opened by Salt Bay has been closed for violation of Massachusetts state COVID protocol. Nurset Boston, founded by a Turkish chef who was trending on social media outlets 3 years ago, is closed for inspection after allowing large queues to form outside of the building. Not only is the restaurant facing closing from the lines which reportedly blocked 2 fire escapes, but the liquor license has also been revoked.
A local university is cracking down on campus parties. At least 20 Boston University students face suspension without a tuition refund after campus police found them breaking COVID-19 guidelines Sunday. The students were reportedly not wearing masks or social distancing while in a group of more than 25. Campus police found the students, who were all under 21, surrounded by empty cans of beer and a large speaker. The university calls the incident highly problematic and is now holding disciplinary hearings with the students involved. And now we head over to our Emerson news correspondent, Derek Delson, who has an inside look on Emerson Stage's first virtual production of the semester.
10 explorers, 4 boats, 1 Grand Canyon. Men on Boats by Jacqueline Backhouse. Emerson Stage's first performance of the semester chronicles an 1869 expedition through the Colorado River. Let's see how this switch to virtual performance has affected the production.
Men on Boats is the story of the first government-sanctioned group that ran the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. The rehearsal process is socially distanced. Obviously, nobody has been in the same room as each other.
One of the obstacles of doing a virtual performance is the learning curve, I think. We're working with student actors who've been in a lot of productions, then who are mentored by professionals. And all of us are very used to the process. And this was a complete 100% reorientation.
I think because we were all going through the same things and we were all kind of stressed about it and there were a lot of unknowns, and so we all kind of bonded over that. In a way, we ended up getting closer than I think maybe we would have even if we had done a live theater.
I love the idea that live performances could be streamed to make theater more accessible to everybody.
Despite the challenges of transitioning from in-person to online performance, Emerson Stage continues to create fantastic productions. For Emerson News, I'm Derek Delson.
Thanks, Derek. When we come back, Joey DuBois will give you an update on all your favorite teams.
Don't go anywhere.
So basically every semester the Emerson channel puts on anywhere from 10 to say like 13 different programs. Right now we have 12 shows, including 3 brand new shows coming up this semester, which are super exciting because we have studio shows, field shows, specials, sitcoms, news programs, really anything that people want to get involved with.
It's very open and welcoming to anybody who doesn't know. Like, you don't need to know anything to be able to participate.
My favorite thing about the Emerson channel is that everybody is willing to help and teach one another. Everyone wants each other to learn, and it's not very selfish of an environment. It's very collaborative rather than competitive.
When I was a freshman, I went to countless workshops.
You can see yourself going to workshops as a freshman or sophomore and then see yourself teaching those skills to other people.
You'll look back and you'll know all this stuff, and you'll look at where you started and where you are now and be totally amazed at all the stuff that you've learned throughout the semester.
We also accept student work from different organizations or just independent work that people would love to see on the channel.
There's really no limits to who or what you can do at the Emerson channel, which is great.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Now we go over to our sports correspondent, Joey DuBois. What do you have for us, Joey?
A historic slate of Major League Baseball playoff games are underway. 16 teams are in contention for the World Series for the first time in league history due to the shortened season. The Houston Astros, Chicago White Sox, Tampa Bay Rays, and New York Yankees were all victorious, going ahead 1-0 in the best-of-3 wildcard series. MLB plans to play the later rounds, including the World Series, in a bubble environment. One team that is not competing for a World Series is the Boston Red Sox. It's been a tough year for the Sox, but the team made a forward-thinking move by firing manager Ron Roenicke on Sunday. Roenicke managed the team after Alex Cora was fired due to his role in the sign-stealing scandal that rocked the Houston Astros and Major League Baseball as a whole. Rumors have already sparked that the Sox could look into bringing Cora back to his former position as long as he's cleared by the league. The NBA Finals tip off tonight between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. Lakers star LeBron James is looking to win his 4th championship, this time against his former team down in South Beach. LA comes in after defeating the Denver Nuggets in 5 games, while Miami dispatched the Boston Celtics in 6. It's the first time in NBA history that 2 teams who did not make the playoffs the year before will meet on the game's biggest stage. The Lakers can tie the Celtics with the most championships in league history at 17 if they win it all this year. Game 1 starts tonight at 9 p.m. The Patriots face the Chiefs on Sunday afternoon after a strong win last week over the Las Vegas Raiders. They face a serious challenge, though, with former MVP Patrick Mahomes and the defending champs up next. The Chiefs are 3-0 after beating the Baltimore Ravens 34-20 on Monday night, so they're looking to remain undefeated. There's plenty of new faces on either side since the 2019 AFC Championship game, but it's safe to say this is still a bit of a rivalry.
Thanks, Joey. Now let's go to our Boylston Bites correspondent, Carlee Bronkema, who visited a place that Emerson students can go to after their next COVID test.
If you're looking for some cheap comfort food with an Asian twist, we recommend stopping by Moonflower House. They've got a great menu of cheap items that will satisfy any of your cravings. We talked to the partner Jimmy Fang about this brand new location.
My name is Jimmy. I am the partner of the owner of the restaurant. We started in 2014. We have 4 locations and we're looking forward to become a chain. We make fried chicken sandwiches. What makes us different and what makes us stand out is that we add a very unique Asian twist to our sandwich. What is the best part about us is that we make everything fresh from raw. So we marinate our meats, our ingredients. When customer order, we just make them fresh. So everything's gonna be fresh, everything's nice and crispy, new into the area. But we see very young faces walking in and loving our food. And also we work with a lot of delivery platforms that actually will deliver the food right to your door during this pandemic time. So you don't have to come out and risk anything like that. So we have the signature, the chicken sandwich. We add a little spice towards it. We have it in 2 flavors, spicy and non-spicy. So when customers order, they really should be careful about if they can eat spicy or not. The chickens are made from fresh. They're very tender and crispy and juicy as well. The wings with the tips right here, they're the barbecue chicken wings. They're very good as well. But one of I recommend the most is our spicy chicken wings. We only have it in spice, so there's no non-spicy flavor for the spicy chicken wings. The spice and everything is absolutely just tasty. And pineapple chicken skewer right there. So basically we skewer chicken with pineapple. So we grill it, and then we have our own special recipe sauce on top of it, glaze it, and it's just amazing.
So next time you're at the testing center, stop by Moonflower House for some chicken that's the perfect combination of spicy and crispy. I'm Carlee Bronkema for Good Morning Emerson.
Thank you, Carlee. And don't those wings look delicious, Mike?
They sure do. I can't wait to try one after my next COVID test. Now let's go over to our entertainment correspondent, Amogh Matthews, for the latest in Hollywood.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning, folks. So, Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, officially endorsed Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for president and vice president. The Rock stressed that this was his first ever endorsement. Johnson said, quote, "I have been a lucky guy over the years in my life and my career to have been a part of and participated in some real defining moments. And I've never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate in my life over my career." Johnson was once the 3rd most backed person online to run for president in the 2020 election. Johnson is among many A-list celebrities to back the Democratic ticket. Chrissy Teigen, the model and TV personality, has been hospitalized in Los Angeles. She was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on Sunday after reportedly suffering heavy bleeding during a pregnancy. Teigen has been sharing updates on her Instagram posts, and her latest pregnancy has been ruled as high risk. The 34-year-old described her condition as, quote, "If you were to turn on a faucet onto low and leave it there." I literally cannot imagine how that's like. Fortunately, Chrissy Teigen reassured fans that her baby boy has not been impacted by her health and that he is healthy. Last week, we found out that on October 3rd, Saturday Night Live returns, and this week we find out the host. In a tweet Thursday, SNL announced that Chris Rock would host the first in-person show since the pandemic hit. Chris Rock has previously emceed the show in 1996 and 2014 and has made various appearances on the show over the years. He was even part of the SNL lineup from 1990 to 1993. The sketch series also announced that Megan Thee Stallion would be the musical guest. In addition, there will be a live audience with mandatory COVID tests upon arrival. And even Diesel fans out there? Personally, I have no strong opinions on the guy. But did you know he just released a new song and it's actually kind of dope? Last week, Diesel teased the song on The Kelly Clarkson Show and talked about his longtime love for music. On Sunday, the action star released his debut single, Feel Like I Do, with Norwegian music producer Kygo. Now, I'm a huge Kygo fan, and Kygo is known for making down-tempo tropical house music, and that's exactly what he did with Vin Diesel's song. The song itself, I recommend. It's not bad. I would definitely check it out. So that's all the entertainment stories I have for you folks, but this past weekend, our What's Trending correspondent Quinn Chao showed me the newest celebrity meals. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Quinn Chao, and what's trending today is Charli D'Amelio's new Dunkin' Donuts drink. With over 80 million followers on TikTok and multiple brand deals, let's see if Charli can make coffee just as well as she choreographs dances. Can I get the Charli? Okay, so here I am gonna try my first sip of the Charli. It is cold brew with whole milk and caramel. Sounds like an interesting mixture. Here I go, big moment, you guys. You know, it does have that sweetness that I feel like Charli and her fans maybe be looking for it in coffee. I feel like it would definitely keep me energized and ready to renegade all day long. Now I'm gonna toss it over to our entertainment correspondent, Amogh, who's gonna be trying the Travis Scott burger.
Thanks, Quinn. So it's been a big week for celebrity brand deals. McDonald's just announced the new Travis Scott burger. It's actually been so popular that in the first week they ran out of ingredients. So let's go try the new Travi Patty. Made with 100% Travis Scott. So this is the burger, and this is me eating it. It's like a McDonald's burger. I mean, how does one describe cheese? You know, the bacon makes it a bit crunchy. It's good. It's good. So is it worth it for Travis Scott fans to go out of their way and buy this burger? Yes. Yeah, you should do it. For Good Morning Emerson, my name is Amogh Matthews.
So, Mike, how does one describe cheese?
You know, I'm not really sure exactly how I would describe cheese, but I do know that I want to try one of those Travis Scott burgers right after the show.
I would definitely like to try the Charlie. I could use that little kick of caffeine. But for now, we are joined by musical guest Josie Dunn. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Definitely. Would you be able to tell us about your musical journey? How did you start?
Yeah, so I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago with a really creative family. We were always painting and dancing and playing music, always surrounded by music. So I think I just naturally really fell into loving music, and I've been singing and playing instruments for as long as I can remember.
That's wonderful. Is there any chance that you could take us through your songwriting process a little bit?
Yeah, well, with all of the events of this year, the songwriting process has completely changed because I'm not going into studios as much. So my new process has become, I write pretty much primarily with my one friend Connor, who's an amazing producer, and we did a lot of the songs on Late Teens, Early 20s together. And he will write a beat and make a track and get some melodies together at his home studio, and then usually I'll go home and then just sit with the song for a week and try and write the lyrics over it. But I'm a really slow songwriter, so it's been a change of pace to be writing alone.
Definitely, and it's so much different this year, I can only imagine. Speaking of changes, what are some of the biggest changes in your life from the time you wrote your first album to now?
Oh my gosh, I think from the first EP to Be the Little Fish until Late Teens, Early 20s, I just feel like I grew up a lot, and I think I figured out what I do really as a songwriter the best. And then Late Teens, Early 20s was just me, I think, having a better understanding of what the lyrics I like and the way I say things and the tracks that I like and the instruments I use. So it's I feel like Late Teens, Early 20s is what I was trying to accomplish with To Be the Little Fish, but it's just the 2.0 version.
I think we all have a 2.0 version of album something in our lives.
Seriously.
So, obviously COVID has affected a lot, and that's affected your music process and your production process. What song are you most looking forward to performing after COVID?
Oh my gosh, I think my song Back to It. We recorded that song and wrote that song while I was in the middle of touring, and then by the time it had come out, my tours were getting postponed and stuff with all of the COVID stuff, so I haven't gotten a chance to perform that live, but when we were writing it, it was all in the mindset of how fun it's going to be to do this song live. So I'm really excited to do that one live. That's going to be fun.
And we're excited to see you live too one day.
I know, in Boston, which I've never been to.
We would love to have you come down.
We would love to have you visit.
soon enough.
We're also interested in hearing about your favorite tour memories.
Ooh. I think the one that always immediately stands out to me is I was on a tour and we were playing one of the after shows at Lollapalooza for Lollapalooza last year with AJR. It was at House of Blues, and so that show was also probably my favorite show. I think that was our best show we ever did last year. And then, but right before that was a really special moment because my friend Matoma, who I have a song with, he was playing a show he was playing a set at Lollapalooza, and so I got to jump out and perform in front of 30,000 people. And growing up in Chicago, I had grown up going to Lollapalooza, so that was a really, really cool moment. It was oh my gosh, I've been to the festival as a fan 7 years in a row, so to get to be a performer was really cool.
That sounds like such an amazing experience. Oh my God.
Yeah. And my parents were there, the whole gang was out, so it was really fun.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. Hopefully you'll get to do that again.
I know, I can't wait for music festivals to come back.
Oh my gosh, I think all of us are in that boat. I think we're all ready to go back. So, do you have any projects that you're currently working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I'm working on I'm working on getting together the final pieces of what will be a Christmas song, which is going to be so fun. And then other than that, I'm working on writing a new project, which will be another EP that I'm really, really excited about. But I can't say too much about that much more. There's not too much to say about it at this point.
I love a good surprise, so I'm excited.
Yeah, keep the people waiting.
Well, we're excited to hear your Christmas song around the holiday season. It's perfect time for that. Yeah. So what do you want people to know about the song you're going to perform today, Stay the Way I Left You?
This song's really cool. It was the first song that I got to work with another artist and collaborate with another artist on that was like on my own EP and a song that I had written. And so my friend Trevor Dahl usually sings this song with me, and he's like an amazing artist and a great singer and producer, and it was fun to get to do this song with him. So he's not gonna be performing it with me, but the regular version has him in it, which is really great. So check that out after you watch the live performance.
Yes, everyone, you heard her. Josie, thank you so, so much for joining us today. And when we come back, Josie Dunn will be performing Stay the Way I Left You.
You don't want to miss it. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Arasha Lalani from College Kitchen, and you're watching the Emerson Channel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Now, here's Josie Dunn performing her song Stay the Way I Left You.
Hi, I'm Josie Dunn, and this is Stay the Way I Left You. All right, here we go. Same spot in the kitchen, same McCoy still sipping, same nothing that you gotta do, same time on the clock, keep the reruns running, keep your shirt unbuttoned, keep thinking that I'm coming back, I'm gonna press pause and I'll hold you back, if you're the first to move on, can't handle that. I don't wanna see you out tonight. Don't be with someone else. Just stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you. Want you to be happy, but still going through somehow. Just stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you. Don't change up your makeup. Don't make friends we make fun of. Don't find yourself a better life. I don't know how I feel. I know the world's always turning. People heal from their hurting, but I need you messed up for a minute, so I can press pause and I'll hold you back. If you're the first to move on, I can't handle that. I don't wanna see you out tonight. Don't be with someone else. Just stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you. Want you to be happy, but still going through somehow. Just stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you. Stay the way I left you.
What a phenomenal performance by Josie Dunn.
You can check out more of Josie's music on Apple Music and Spotify. Now it's time for a new segment on Good Morning Emerson. With all the serious news in the world, we thought it would be fun to try and surprise each other with some happy stories. Scientists are making progress in a search for a multiple sclerosis treatment. A recent study shows bexarotene, a drug sometimes used to treat cancer, can fix nerve damage. Bexarotene works by remyelinating or repairing a part of the nerve cell called the myelin sheath, which is damaged in patients with MS. More testing must be done to determine how to reduce side effects associated with the drug, but scientists say this is a major step in the right direction.
25 veterans are being moved into newly renovated and furnished apartments in the Brighton neighborhood. The rooms are located in the Brighton Military Hospital, which recently underwent a $6 million renovation. Marlene Calisi, the Vice President of the Administration and Finance and Boston Marine, says tenants will be housed for as long as they desire. The residents will also be working with the organization Soldier On, a private nonprofit that will provide counseling to the veterans and help them set paths for the future.
One Massachusetts community came together last month to surprise 11-year-old Ashlyn McDonald with hundreds of cans of spaghetti. McDonald is autistic, and since March, she hasn't been able to eat anything but her favorite food, SpaghettiOs. Ashlyn's mother, Crystal McDonald, struggled to find her daughter's favorite meal anywhere after the pandemic started. The family was featured in a local newspaper article, and suddenly, SpaghettiOs started popping up at the McDonald's front door. After hearing about the McDonald's story, Campbell Soup Company, who's responsible for making SpaghettiOs, pledged to send the McDonald's enough SpaghettiOs to last a full year.
Anastasia Pagonis, a blind 16-year-old swimmer, is grabbing attention with her remarkable success story. When she was 14 years old, Pagonis lost her central vision to Stargardt disease in a mere 2 months. A professional New York hockey team, the Islanders, then helped her train her guide dog, Radar. Radar recently accompanied her to the Colorado Springs Olympic and Paralympic Training Center and has been helping guide her around. Now a resident athlete at the training grounds, Pagonis prepares for the Paralympics in Tokyo, currently scheduled for August next year.
Well, I know that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to seeing that performance next year.
And I'm going to be very excited to hear about the SpaghettiOs and the update on how the McDonald family is doing.
Well, thank you so much for waking up with us.
We'll see you next time, and have a good morning.